What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and still resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
Good evening, gentlemen. It's good to see you this evening. I hope all is well.
Yeah, doing well. And also joining us here in the studio is the heavyweight podcasting champion of the world, Harry Potter!
And of course, everyone is talking about Hogwarts Legacy. And I know that you have not played this game, as I have nearly mastered it. Hours and hours played with my wand. Yes.
Wow, you're using the new wand attachment for the PS5, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it actually is a wand that I have
Nope.
bought myself for $60 out of Harry Potter World.
Okay.
Universal
That's not where I
Studios.
thought. As soon as I asked the question, I was like, I need to stop this. I need to stop this. I
You know
said
what?
twice.
Because I'm feeling very PG, I cleaned it up.
Okay.
Because
All right.
it was going to be from a dirty location.
Oh no.
But I pulled it out. But no, I cleaned it up.
All
See?
right. Thank you. So
It's so good to be here in the studio, rocking out as only I do. And me, I have been all up in the Hogwarts Legacy, and I feel like there's nothing else to talk about, boys, because this is what's for dinner. We've been playing this game. You guys have nothing else to talk about, so forget news articles, forget everything else. Let's just turn this into a Harry Potter-a-thon.
I mean, Metroid came out.
yeah.
There was a whole direct.
Is that located in Hogsmeade?
No. You wizards wouldn't know about that.
Okay, all right. I guess we'll.
This is
figure out later
Muggle
on the
thing. This
show.
is Muggle business.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, muggles. Well, it's because better than being a mudblood. Am I right?
Oh no.
Am I right? Oh no, I know too much about Harry Potter.
Yeah. I don't even know what you're talking right now, you nerd.
How dare you call me a nerd?
It feels so good to call you a nerd because you call me that all the time. But yes, as Adrian alluded to, today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct that we had last week. Possibly how a strong Nintendo Direct also showed the end of Switch, possibly. And the EU is cracking down on the big Microsoft Activision acquisition. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash, Eddie Martin, and Kajoma01, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month. You can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show and the show hosted by Adrian, Super Gamer Book Club. That's right, the new episode up that went up at the end of last month, Chrono Trigger, featuring Eddie and El Chizo. Fantastic episode. Hearing some interesting thoughts and views on this game from all around. It was fun to hear people's stories and memories of the game, as well as what we love and what we hated about it. Mostly love.
Spoiler alert, nothing.
There's a few things.
I know. I'm being hyperbolic because it's a classic.
If you're on the fence about supporting us and you want to know what the Super Gamer Book Club is all about, head over to a free feed. You can find it over on YouTube, youtube.com/supergamerboys, or on its podcast feed. Just do a search for Super Gamer Book Club on any podcast app, and you can listen to The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past episode featuring Nintendo Cartridge Society. Patrick and Mark joined us on that one, and we had a freaking blast. Upcoming this month, Hi-Fi Rush, the shadow dropped Game Pass surprise here, came out just a couple weeks ago. It's going to be live at the end of this month, and we're going to have a special guest, Trouser Schnauzer, or DJ Trues.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to that one.
His return. It's been a while. We haven't seen him since Cadence of Hyrule, and that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. So yeah, be sure to tune in, support us to get that one as soon as it comes out, so you don't have to wait 2 months. Anyways, we'll talk more about our Patreon later on the show. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. We very much appreciate them. They're awesome folks, so make sure to go show your love and support. If you enjoy what you're hearing here in the background, go over to Spotify and Apple Music. Links are in the show description below, and show your love. All right, that is it for the rundown. Now, it's time to check the mail. Don't you have like an owl? Your freaking owl didn't deliver the mail today?
So here's the deal. Apparently you cannot feed Coke to your owl. Okay. I thought it was going to be funny. I was hanging out with some of the guys in the Gryffindor area. And we may have given our owl a little bit of Coke. Apparently not a good thing.
Coca-Cola.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
Without the cola.
Oh no, that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, no, they can't snort it. You have to insert it anally.
Oh boy, you just keep digging and digging, don't you?
No, we were digging and digging. That's the whole problem.
Boy.
Oh man. I just have a quick question.
Pull it up, Garrett. Pull it up.
I don't know much about Harry Potter.
Wow.
But are you
not to know?
But are you actually Gryffindor? You seem more like a Hufflepuff to me. From what I know, from what little I know.
How dare you? How dare you?
He called you a softie.
That's like slapping me in the face. So here's the bad part. I took one of those tests and I was a Hufflepuff. Yeah.
I knew it. I
hate you right now.
See, I don't know anything about Harry Potter, but I pegged you for Hufflepuff immediately.
You know why? Because they're known for their loyalty, Garrett. Because they're known for their loyalty and their softened heart.
Don't worry, I'm Hufflepuff as well. I don't know anything about Harry Potter. I took that test and I got Hufflepuff as well. So that's why I knew you were one as well. We're the same, you and me, same person.
No, we're not.
It's too late. It's too late.
I'm pretty sure.
We are one, JJ.
I don't know, but no.
All right. This first question comes to us from Penguin90, and they ask, what TV show do you guys refuse to watch? What's that one show that everyone's like, you gotta watch it, check it out, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get to it, or maybe you flat out say like, no, I will not touch it, and you just won't watch it. You have not watched it. You have not touched it. What is
Big Bang Theory? Can't stand it. Cannot stand it.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything outside of just clips. I don't think I've ever seen an episode.
And even the clips annoy me.
Oh, wow.
I'm good.
I'm shocked right now.
I hate it.
Do you enjoy it, JJ?
I love it. And I need a moment because I feel like a lot of times Adrian and I are like, we're like the same person. You know, like he's got style. I'm full of rhythm, obviously. And I feel like we are like brothers. You know what I mean? So, when I say brother, you know what I mean when I say brother. I got you. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. And
like your mailman.
That's like if you're like Black Irish, you know.
I got you. Keep going. It got like
really hot in here. Like everybody's got to have one, right? Is that how that works? And when I say one, like really good friend, like one really.
That's what I said. I'm with you. Keep going.
Yeah. No. So what I'm trying to say is, it's so damn hot in here, guys.
That's because I'm cooking you. I'm grilling you. That's why.
Is that what that is? Yeah. No. So I love Big Bang Theory. So I don't agree with you, Adrian. I don't
can't stand the formula, dude. Oh, look at this thing. It's so nerdy. Everybody in the audience laugh at the nerdy thing. It's like,
So
nerds are cool now. That show doesn't make sense anymore.
I don't know about TV shows, but I can tell you movies that I can't stand, and I've tried the Twilight movies. Vampires don't glitter, and you can't tell me otherwise.
They just look bad overall, though. Like, I've never had an interest in want to watch them either. Yeah. They just did not look like.
Well, I read the books and they didn't hold true to the book. No, wait. No, when I say I read the books, that's not what I meant. Did you? I didn't actually mean that I read the Twilight books.
How many times have you read them?
You read Harry Potter. It's you opened the door. Look. You took the door and you did like this, and you just don't want to open it all the way so we can see everything that's in there.
No, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
I wouldn't.
You should have never took that padlock off, and here you are. Yeah. Glasses and scarf.
Glasses and scarf.
Okay. Full transparency. This is my son's. And I said, like, hey, man, let me see that thing. And he's like, Dad, don't. You'll besmirch it. You'll get your sweat all over it. And I'm like, yeah, I will. I bought that.
That's impressive. Your son used the term besmirched. That's the first thing that came to his mind.
He did.
I appreciate his vocabulary.
Yeah, he hangs out with me too much. He reads voraciously. Yeah, he's a huge Harry Potter fan, and we picked up the game a few days ago so he can get the extra stuff. And so
play early. Because it didn't technically come out until like Thursday, but you called me on like Tuesday or Wednesday, and so you guys got it early.
Said I dropped the 80 bones to make sure that he was happy. It was quite expensive. But I was like, no more skins on the Fortnite, right? And
for a while.
He just laughed and walked out of the room, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Like, good joke, Dad.
You have unlimited money.
Dude, I don't get
it. For me, I think it's I had some friends for a while who would talk about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And I am not interested in that. And most reality shows I'm not really interested in. Like the only one that gets me is like Survivor, which like I know it's like up there just as bad as the rest of them, but I don't know, there's something about some of the like Big Brother and like like The Bachelor and Bachelor, all those things. Like I don't know, it just seems like such over the top like crappy drama. Like I don't know. At least Survivors are like a little bit interesting because there's like I don't know, they're stranded. They're stranded on an island somewhere, and like you get like whatever. They're doing some cool games and stuff, but otherwise, like all those other shows are like, this is just too much drama. I don't like it.
There's absolutely times where we've had our old boss John, who you still work with, but John would get together with other couples and watch like The Bachelor together, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And he's like, oh, it's a gas. It's such a kick, and I'm like. First of all, nobody says a gas anymore. You're such a kick. What is this, like the 1940s? But no, you can't watch that. It takes away your cool factor.
Wait a second, JJ. Aren't you like the same age or even older than John?
Oh, no, I'm substantially older.
Yeah. All right. Just had to point that out there. Yep. You're calling our old boss old, but
well, I mean, you look at
beat by a few years.
I've got a youthful joy about me, my friend. A youthful joy.
All right. That's what it is. All right. Let's get into this next question here. Or wait, did you? Oh yeah, you did it. You said Twilight. Freaking Twilight. Oh, I saw a TikTok the other day where it was this guy like. When Robert Pattinson and Twilight, like, oh, I don't want to watch, like, why would I want to watch this guy brood around and pretend to be a vamp, blah, blah, blah. And then jump to like 2022 and he's in The Batman, like, oh man, I love to see Robert Pattinson brooding around in the Batman costume or a bat costume. It's just funny because it was the same character, like the way he described the character, it's the same character twice. Obviously, you watch the movies, it's very different, but I thought it was a very funny thing. Like back in the day, we're like, oh, this is so horrible, this brooding dark character, and now it's like he plays the same brooding dark character in a cool Batman suit, and now all of a sudden we're like, yeah, now we like it.
He doesn't glitter. Like if Batman started glittering all of a sudden, I'd be like, I'm out.
He gets a little sweaty.
I don't think you would.
You think I
think if Batman was like, this is new Wayne Tech disco ball gear, you'd be all about it.
Wayne Tech.
It blinds.
I'd be into it. I'd be like, let me get one.
It blinds the enemy.
Right.
As long as he talks like that. Like, I'd be all about it.
I'm Batman. All right. This next question comes from Sir Princelaw, and he asked if you could canonically swap a Marvel MCU character with a DCU one. A DCU. Okay, so probably talking about the movies, maybe. I don't know. Which two would get swapped and why? I think Wolverine for Batman could be interesting. And I'm just going to throw out there, and JD said this before the show, and I agreed with him. I think the only reason he said that is he just hamstrung us. Like, he's just like, hey, I'm going to take the cool, fun, easy one that, like, everyone actually wants and take it from us. So, you know what, Sir Princelaw, you suck.
Yeah, you're a total prick move. Like, who does that? You literally took the very best answer and you go, I'm just saying, and you gave us nothing. So awesome job, Derek.
What are we supposed to say now? What do we say? There's no other.
I'm trading any Marvel characters for DCEU characters? Are you kidding me? Who?
That's a question. I don't know. Like, who else could you pick?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want any of those DC. Now, in this new canon, this James Gunn canon, we'll see. Because it's shaping up to be some real heavy hitters in there. But anything I guess, whatever this Flash movie that's going to reset everything, I don't want any of them.
See, and the only one I would have said, because I'm a huge Flash fan, but I don't like Ezra Miller. I really don't. But I could see Spider-Man. I know you guys are gonna hate me. Spider-Man and the Flash switching places because I am a big Flash fan, and I would take the Flash over Spider-Man, my personal opinion.
That's a huge deal.
And that's when JJ got canceled. That was the day.
No.
This is what gets JJ canceled. This, not like the last.
JJ said a lot of crap over the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Try 10 minutes. Cocaine in a Hogwarts owl.
What do you? I mean, I'm just saying, nerds everywhere are going to be attacking me and pitchforks in the street, burning their bras or whatever.
It's a heck of a trade trading Spider-Man. I don't think I'd trade Spider-Man. I don't know. Garrett, you got one?
The only thing I'd come up with, and I don't like the movie that they made of this character, but if I could take this character, and then put it into like the Marvel movies, I think, and I would replace him. So this is Green Lantern taking the spot of Doctor Strange. I don't really like Doctor Strange. Is like a fine character. He's whatever, but I think having like Green Lantern in that role, I don't know.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
I'm fine with Ryan Reynolds doing it. I think the bigger issue with that movie was probably more direction and writing than him. Like Ryan Reynolds is a great actor.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So that's who I think. It's kind of, so I feel like they have similar type powers, but instead of being summoned by this, like being a sorcerer, like it's obviously just a space magic. Like I don't know, it's a very similar character, I feel like, but just different. Instead of being like I feel like the problem with Doctor Strange that kind of rubs me the wrong way is he's just like has this very much like I'm better than you and I know it, where I like the idea of Green Lanterns kind of being more like we are protectors and like of the universe kind of thing, like, or of the galaxy. Like they are very much like almost like the protections force, like the police force or whatever you want to call it, of like of space. And so I don't know, I just feel like having someone who's a little just, I don't know, more of a hero than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange feels like he does everything begrudgingly. So I was like, oh, like I don't know.
Do you have that energy for Tony though? Because Tony's is the same way.
But no, I don't think. I think maybe Tony started out that way, but
so did Steven. Steven, by the end of that movie, kind of has an ego death too.
Of the most recent one, I guess, Multiverse of Madness. I feel like through all the Avengers movies and stuff, like all like like Endgame and before that, like he's very much just like this kind of cocky jerk. I just feel like
Tony was that way too. 90% of the time he just became a selfless cocky jerk.
Yeah, and I guess that's the difference. He at least was more willing to, like, I don't know, like when he helped people, it felt like he might have acted like he didn't want to do it, but you could tell deep down he did. He cared about these people. Where I feel like Doctor Strange always just feels like gotta go do this because I'm the sorcerer. It's like, all right, dude, like you just go away then. Stop. Like I don't know.
I don't need your help then.
Yeah, we don't want your help. Get out of here. If you can't do it with a happy heart, don't do it at all. That's what my mom used to tell me when I was a kid.
But your mom also told you that you were good looking. So
so did you. So did you.
I didn't say that. I never used the word sexy. I
said,
did. I didn't. I just said you. Light. No, I remember verbatim what I had said.
You will never.
I said
ever live that down.
I said literally, Garrett. If I couldn't see, and I had to like feel your face, and
it's like you're about to start crying, Garrett. I never ever said that.
Man.
Stop it.
JJ's trying so hard to take it back.
I'm not crying. I'm a little emotional. Pricks.
Oh
I just
man.
realized this is like you're picking them. You guys are bullies. You're bullies. You're messing with the old guy.
All right, you
I
Hufflepuff.
said
That's what we
one
do to
thing.
Hufflepuffs around here.
Exactly. I'm sensitive and I'm loyal.
All right. Did you guys didn't have answers yet, or JJ did? What do you think, Adrian?
I really honestly cannot think of one.
Okay.
I don't. There's no DC character that I would trade for any Marvel character.
Yeah.
At this point in time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. As far as movies for sure are concerned, yeah, definitely I feel that way. And even
I think you guys. It's the only reason you guys are saying that is because you guys are younger. You're a younger generation, and you didn't grow up with Superman being Superman, with being legitimately in the 80s. He was the biggest superhero. So a lot of people from my generation, from Generation X, are like, that's the guy. Like, you don't get any bigger, any stronger, any more powerful than Superman. I mean, some people of my generation like Batman. It was either Superman or Batman. And the X-Men and all of the Marvel characters weren't in the conversation.
As a hero, I think maybe not. As a hero, Superman, I agree. He was the largest like comic presence as a character, but I mean, the polls have shown Spider-Man's been, for the last, at least since the mid to late 80s, has been the most popular comic book character.
So JJ, with that then, like who would you actually want to swap then in the Marvel universe with Superman? Like that's the question ultimately, is like who would, and so like in my and in my mind,
like a similar character. And that's why I chose Spider-Man for the Flash, because I saw them as kind of like similar characters in a way, as far as like 100%. The moral, the heart, and, the youth and stuff like that. How they were thrust into the position that they were in. Superman, I don't really feel like there's an equal to him in Marvel, and that's just my opinion. I don't see anybody being like that all-powerful, incredible, like that's the leader of everybody. Iron Man obviously is incredible and cool and everything else, but his character is more like a Batman, rich guy.
See that? Yeah, I don't think Marvel does have character-wise an equivalent to a Superman, to he's like an all-in-one.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, it's almost like Captain Marvel. Like she almost has a lot of the same powers, honestly.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like it's not 1-to-1, but it's like a lot of the same powers and like just a little different.
And keep in mind, she shows up, boom, wins the whole war and everything. That's the female Superman. Just saying, boom, I just proved my point. I win. Game over. Thanks for showing up, guys.
All right, cool. Didn't know we were playing a game, but all right. This last question comes to us from Sir Princelot again, and he asks, if you ever have issues with shirts, ordering sizes, prints, etc., who should you have come to first?
This backfired. This backfired on you big time. Get him, Garrett. Get him.
Get him. So yeah, that's we were reading through the questions before the show, and we were all like, "Hang on a second, wait." So here's the deal. We like what you do, Sir Princelot. I wear your shirts probably most days, to be honest. But here's the deal. We are a small operation. We cannot afford to buy 50 t-shirts for like $1,000 or whatever they are. I don't know. That's obviously not how much they cost, but
it might
a lot of money.
Be.
I don't have room to have a stock room to hold storage for the merch that people are not going to buy. Because spoiler alert, our merch store does not sell a lot. We've sold like 2 things in the last 3 years, and probably most of them are me.
Say that now, he's not going to want to help us.
No. I'm being hyperbolic here, but anyways, here's the deal. If you can make it worth our while, if you can work with us, if you can figure out a way, because right now our current company does drop shipping for us, which basically means people order, there's a campaign open for so long. If a certain amount of people order in that time, they print it, they ship it on demand. We don't have to hold any stock, and you guys get it, for the most part, pretty great results. Like some of my other Super Game Boy stuff, and even the new stuff, like I like it. It looks good. It's great. But definitely could be better. Like you can tell it's still, there's an on-demand quality to it. That's like, it's really good, but not obviously boutique quality like you do, Sir Princelot. So
I would
You
love to have his quality of shirts.
your
with
quality
our
and
design.
customization, all that. So if you can make it worth our while, if you can figure out a way to where like we order like 2 to 3 shirts at a time instead of like 30 or 40, we'll come to you. We'll work with
Or
you.
even a couple in like each size, just so we have them to ship out.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Garrett,
get
didn't
back
you
to
say
us.
before the show, before we hit the record button, that the reason that we weren't buying the shirts from him was because he sent in that question where he actually took the Wolverine Batman equation away from us, and that's why you hadn't bought the shirts from him?
Well,
I mean, that's what you
It's
told
a combination
me.
of things.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot of it's a lot of things. It's a lot that might have been part of it. I
Maybe
might
get
still be
your-
upset
maybe
by the
get your act
previous
together.
question, but
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, Sir Prince Lot. So you better get to work on that. Unless you want people to, you want us to tell people that you don't support small creators. Not a good look. Not a good look.
oh man. All right. Anyways, yeah. So if you're looking for good shirts, go to Sir Prince a lot. he does make good stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Unless you're small, then forget
Us-
about it.
Then forget about it. Forget about it. I think we even have a coupon code with the company he prints for. I should look it up. I don't even remember what it is. You get like 20% off there, 15% off, something like that.
Oh, 20% off of $8,000 for 3 shirts. Wow.
No. I'm not talking about bulk orders. I'm talking like if you buy like their stuff, not our merch.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about if you buy Vartigan shirts, like
Oh,
you
okay,
can get
okay,
a discount using code SGB at checkout. So, anyways, let's get on to the nerdy nudes.
He is done with us after this. I promise you.
We were best buds before. Now probably never talk to him again, and I kind of feel bad about that.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
Alrighty, it is now time for us to get here into the news where we get to talk about some awesome things that happened last week. That's right. Nintendo
Yes.
Direct, February 2023. The biggest games and announcements. This article comes from GameSpot, written by Gabe Gerwin over there. We don't really need the article. It's more just to kind of remind us of some things that came out. But there was a Nintendo Direct. They announced some dates. They released some trailers. They shadow dropped some things. Some incredible things, in my opinion.
Yes.
So, overall thoughts. Let's kind of give some overall thoughts for those of us who watched the Direct. Yeah, Adrian. And overall, I thought it was a fantastic Direct. Like, on one hand, I'm bummed we didn't get anything new, and again, like anything for like later on in the year. But for what they did give us, they give us some really cool updates for things coming out soon. They give us release dates and stuff like that. And then just the sheer like surprise of like 2 of these announcements that we're going to talk about. Like I was like, okay, I kind of made up for it. That made me happy. That appeased me, at least for the time being. You know, I'm happy for now. But Adrian, what did you think overall of this Direct? How did you feel about it?
I thought it was strong. I don't know if it's one of their stronger directs. This Direct kind of, like you were saying, it kind of solidifies for me that they are definitely holding stuff back for whatever the successor to this console is. The fact that they centered it around, oh, this is stuff that's only coming out in the first half of 2023. And normally they don't do directs until it's usually February, E3, and then like September, I think is normally when they do directs. So they're not gonna, I mean, unless they do something around E3 that's like a blowout for the entire half of the year, which is unlikely, right? Because if you have new hardware, you're gonna have to pull some stuff back and hold it. What I think is gonna happen is they might do a couple of more things at E3. I don't think they're gonna announce like the hardware. I feel like they're gonna want to do their own event to have their own spotlight. I think they're gonna do like the tail end of projects that are coming out for Switch. So like stuff that might come out until maybe like September, October ish. Just kind of wrap up the year for it. And then I feel like November or maybe December is when they're going to do their big blowout event to introduce the next generation of hardware. And then we'll get all the games that people have been asking, like, where is it? Where is it? Like the new Mario game, probably Mario Kart 9. We'll get glimpses of all that different kind of stuff at that time. And it'll come out in 2024. That's the only thing that makes sense in my mind.
Yeah. It definitely was interesting. And we'll talk more about that. Yeah, after kind of the direct, but was kind of like a weird feeling where it's like, okay, maybe the end is near for the Switch. But despite that, yeah, they still had a strong opening with this. I feel like not an opening to the year, I guess I should say. The opening of this year is feeling pretty good. So, one of the kind of biggest things that blew me away. I don't know. I forget the order that they announced on the Direct, but one of the things that I was absolutely shocked by this announcement was the Nintendo Switch Online adds Game Boy games. They had a Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games.
Yes.
So on your Nintendo Switch right now, you can play if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you can play Game Boy games and Game Boy Color games. And then if you have the expansion pass, like the extra little bit a month, then you get the Game Boy Advance games. And that was like so out of just nowhere. Like it's something we've been asked for so long and hoping for. And I'm so happy they finally delivered. I was going to look up here the the actual games that are available. But how did you feel about the games that they released with it, Adrian? Like as a whole, have you had a chance to look at it at all and play it?
Yeah, I've tinkered around in a couple of them. I think the Game Boy itself lineup was pretty lackluster. I feel like we could have used a couple of more titles in there because I think there's only like 8.
Yeah, there are. I found it here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And they'd be fine if it was like 8
9
all-star, right?
Yeah,
it'd be fine if it was like all of them were hitters, but
yeah,
I think they maybe have like out of those 9, 4 or 5 are like, whoa, I haven't seen those in a minute, right?
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance is really where we got like a pretty strong starting lineup.
Yeah, we got some sick ones. So for the Game Boy, we got Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, Wario Land 3, Kirby's Dream Land, and then for Game Boy Advanced, we got Super Mario Advance 4, which was actually like the remake or port of Super Mario Advance 3. WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games, which I fired that up immediately. That was like my
thought about you.
favorite game on my Game Boy Advance SP. And so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yes, thank you. I played it for so long the other night. Kuro Kurin, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap. So yeah, they got some big hitters. Lineup. Big hitters out on Game Boy Advance, and even on the original Game Boy. Like I fired up Tetris too, so that Tetris is a nostalgic game for me because before I had my Game Boy Color, my mom had a Game Boy, and she had Tetris, and so like that's I would play all the time. She would play all the time. I'd watch her play it, and so like I immediately fired up and you can change the filter so it either looks like a Game Boy Color, or a Game Boy Micro, or no, what was it? Game Boy. Well, there's 3 different filters. Pocket. That's what it is. And I put it obviously on the original Game Boy Color scheme, and I'm like, oh, this feels so right. This feels so good.
I'm at home.
And Game & Watch Gallery 3. I never played 3. I had 2. I really enjoyed 2. And so like I fired up 3, and I'm like, this is so fun. Like playing a little like those stupid little mini games in Game & Watch.
It's addicting.
I love it. Like I went for so long. I was like, I should stop. Like this is so pointless. I have things to do, but it is so fun catching those little eggs as they roll down the hill before they fall in the fire. But JJ, have you had a chance to look at this or play this, or have you heard that this happened at all?
No. Yeah.
Are you aware of this at all, JJ?
I'm on a video game podcast. How do I not hear that happened?
I
hadn't heard that happened.
Yeah, right.
No, I just haven't had an opportunity to check it out. I never get to touch the Switch. We have a couple. We have a Switch, couple of Switch lights in the house. Then of course Lee has the one that he likes to dock onto the onto the big TV and kick me out of the room sometimes. And I'm like, do you really need a 75-inch screen to play your Mario game?
The whole point is he could take it with him. You should just make him take it in his room.
I've tried, but he's almost as tall as me. And I'm like, he's mean. Like a lot meaner than me. I'm a Hufflepuff.
I was getting ready to say, spoken like a true Hufflepuff.
Oh man. Well, you should definitely check it out because it's pretty incredible. And I'm actually really excited to check out like on the Game Boy game side. I feel like everyone I talked to about it was just like most people were kind of like, this game is like, this was so out of left field. Like, why would they add this? The Alone in the Dark game. But honestly, I was looking at it, I'm like, that looks kind of sick. Like, I'm down to try it. It looks like I'd never heard of it, never played it. So I was like, cool. Well, I'm glad they added it. A fun little like mystery horror kind of thing. Looks pretty sick to me.
I love the upcoming list of games that they have coming to both platforms, but especially advanced. They have Fire Emblem coming, the original Fire Emblem. Oh man, I can finally put my SP on the shelf. She can go into retirement because all the hitters are seeming to come out. Then we got, what is it, Kirby Amazing Mirror. Even though Nightmare in Dreamland was a better game, Fight Me. And then what else do we have on there? Golden Sun. Golden Sun is coming. Metroid Fusion.
Yeah, so for Game Boy Advance, they have Metroid Fusion, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Fire Emblem, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, Golden Sun, and Fire Emblem. Oh, in Japan, you can get Fire Emblem The Binding Blade. So they're going to have 2 Fire Emblem games coming, at least in Japan.
Well, there's 3 for Game Boy Advance altogether.
Okay.
We got 2 of them.
So one is coming to the U.S. shop, and then Japan will get 2 of them eventually. And then as far as Game Boy games, Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages, the Pokemon trading card game, which I was so sad. When I saw the Pokemon logo, I'm like, no way. And then I realized the trading card game, like, God dang it. Like, why? Why? Give us the actual Pokemon game.
The rumor is, Garrett, is because Pokemon Day is coming up later this month, that there's going to be a Pokemon Presents. And that's where they're going to drop it.
If they drop, like,
I need red and blue. I need red and blue on the Pokemon one, and I need Ruby and Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance one. If they do those 2 things,
I'm
gonna
never.
Oh man,
I'm gonna stop playing again. I'm gonna stop playing all video games altogether and just play those.
It's a wrap for everything.
Sorry.
Else.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not doing the book club this month because we're just playing
the book
Pokemon.
Club can be Pokemon.
Sorry. You're just playing old Pokemon games. And then Kirby Tilt and Tumble for Game Boy as well. So they announced some upcoming ones and they all are.
There's pinball. I want Pokemon pinball too. Come on,
Pokemon,
man.
Oh, Pokemon pinball was incredible.
Yes,
so loved it. So yeah, that was like probably one of the heavy hitter announcements at the Direct. Is pretty killer to see that. We got some Splatoon 3 DLC. Were you excited about that? I know you're the big Splatoon guy. Were you excited for that?
I already pre-ordered it. We're good to go.
That explains that. So what was the main? Was it new story missions or is it more multiplayer stuff? I forget.
It's all of it. I don't think it's not all. It's not all launching at the same time, but there's new story. It's like the Octo expansion for 2. So we're getting new story content, and then we're getting new multiplayer as well, new weapons, new stages, etc. So pretty much like a big expansion on the game.
Okay.
For everything, for every mode, every major mode.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from the trailer is there was a character that looked like a ball sack, and I tried to make a joke tweet about it, and Twitter was down during the Direct, so I was unable to tweet out my joke.
Time for Twitter to be down, man.
Like when you say ball sack, you're not talking about like one of those nylon bags that hold all the basketballs. Like you're talking about like
scrotum.
Scrotum. Yes, I think it's supposed to be like coconut fried shrimp or something like that, but it's literally like you see the tail on the top of his head, and then it comes down, and then it's these 2 like lumps, and I'm like, boy, that was unfortunate character design right there. He's like one of the shop owners.
Or is it? Is that what they were going for?
Yeah, I tried to make a funny tweet and the joke was lost. I was like, I can never tweet this now because it's not funny anymore.
Thanks, Elon.
You know? Thank you, Elon. So what else was there? Pikmin 4, we got a new trailer and they announced, I think it was already announced that it's come out in July, but if not, we definitely saw the date there. Oh no, it was revealed. So coming soon. I still have not played 1 through 3.
Looks
I need to get on that.
fantastic.
But number 4 does look very good. Without having ever played any of the other ones, I'm like, this game is gorgeous. Like, I just want to jump into this one. Honestly.
Now, Garrett, you do have a Wii.
I know I do. I even have all the Pikmin on there. I have them.
Sounds like you're set. I don't know what else to tell you.
There's nothing to tell me other than just to play it. But I also have so many other games just like that I need to play. Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot.
Yes, we got a date, April 21st, baby.
Yep,
I'm ready.
So it was delayed previously because of the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and so
I've waited a whole year for this.
So they delayed it up until now, because if you haven't heard, the war with Russia and Ukraine is over now, so it's okay to.
Yeah, it's magically gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's not worse than ever. No way.
But no,
for just a second, guys, I was like, holy crap, is it over? Like, 'cause I didn't,
Did I miss
hear
something?
that. So I was like, holy, you're like, what happened?
No, not at all.
Who won? Did we win?
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
No,
JJ.
nobody wins. It's war.
No, I'm glad that they are finally releasing it because it looks fantastic, and I know how much you've been excited for it. So as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, Adrian's gonna freaking love this. All right, the last two main things, I guess, were Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. We got a new trailer where they announced you can drive a car. Did you see that?
I think you can build it.
You can
the
build,
way that
yeah.
they were making it look like you can build your own vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, they're like adding straight up vehicles. So forget your
people
your
are going
horse.
to break that so good. There's gonna be so many cool videos from that mechanic.
Oh, it's so good. I know. Like I love how they basically like I'm sure they didn't intend it with the first one, but that's what it turned into. People being like, well, how can I break this game? How can I do something crazy? And I love how they've just leaned into it with the second one. Like, all right, here's some cool toys. Go ahead, break it.
Show us what you got.
Do your worst. It's like, show us what Zelda could really be like here. So, yeah, but overall, that new trailer looked epic. The story, I can only imagine what it's going to be about. Like, I love watching all the theories. Like, I don't know. Do you have any theory at all in the story, or like, what is it after? Is it a prequel? Is it like? Because I feel like people are still all over the place on it.
I have not heard anything about it being a prequel. That's interesting. That Zelda would have shorter hair in a prequel,
or maybe not a prequel, but like people have talked about it being like it's not Link. Like maybe it's like someone else or something like that. Because there's his weird arm thing. Like his arm's all like jacked up and blue.
Well, yeah, I always thought that it probably got cut off in that accident where they're down in the catacombs and they run into that Ganon looking thing. Like when he's trying to save Zelda, maybe something happens to where he's trying to, huh?
I heard that'll happen to your arm if you take Dubby.
Your arm will get cut off? No.
It'll turn blue like that. I'm just saying. You want to be careful of that. It's got the same active ingredient.
No, but I was thinking that's where that must have happened, and maybe some kind of Sheikah magic was able to like graft him a new arm or something like that out of Sheikah parts.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, that's coming May 12th. That's so soon.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, like that's like so like I don't know, in my head it still feels so far away, but then you read that date and you're like, oh, that's not that long. Like that's not that far away.
Don't do it. I know what you're thinking. You're hyped off the direct. You saw Tears of the Kingdom. Don't start Breath of the Wild. You're not gonna finish it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. You're not. You think you are. You're like, oh, let me get refreshed. Just watch a video essay of the story on YouTube. You are not going to finish Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom comes out, unless you mainline it.
But that's
not the fun way to play it. That's not the fun way to play it.
I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat it in the next 2 months, just like I said I was gonna beat Death Stranding and platinum it last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's that platinum at?
Oh man.
Even I thought when you said that was a very daring lie. But I was like, that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like that's stretching.
I mean, I had a whole year. I should have been able to do it, but
but it's you. I mean, do you remember that it's you?
Yeah.
But you looked at that PlayStation, you were sitting in your chair and you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. And you said that 365 times.
Yeah, all right. Well, the last announcement, the big announcement, at least from the Direct, that I am stoked about and I will play or talk about later in what you're playing. Spoilers. But Metroid Prime Remastered not only got announced, but dropped on the same day. Later this afternoon, you can digitally purchase Metroid Prime Remastered. It came out physically. It's coming out physically on the 22nd. So it's not out. And if you go to Walmart or wherever you get your games, GameStop, cannot purchase it there. But right now through the eShop, you can get Metroid Prime Remastered, the GameCube hit. And let me tell you, that trailer looked gorgeous. And I'm like, it's too good. So this is a game you guys all know. I actually had never played it. I was big into Metroid Prime 2. I never played the first one. Played the second one a ton. Loved the second one. So
you
playing
have a habit
this,
of doing this.
I have a habit of doing some crazy things. That's for sure. Man, when I saw this, I'm like, here's my chance. Like I've been sitting on this one for 15 years.
It's not like you don't have a copy of it. You probably have like 3 of them, right?
I do have a copy. Yes, I do have a way to play the original Metroid Prime. But you know what? Now I own it on my Switch. I've been playing it on there. And you know what? I'm happier because it looks way better.
I was going to say, I didn't really realize how much work had gone into it until you see those like comparison videos online and you see the original GameCube, the ROM from that one, and then you see the remake or the remastered. It really does look like a remake. Honestly, I don't know why they called it remastered because it's pretty much a remake.
Yeah, they've added a lot to it, from like just higher res textures to, I mean, like even like when at the beginning of the game when you're like in space, like the space isn't just a black hole. Like it actually is like stars and galaxies and lights and
all the cinematics have been remastered, like top to bottom. They've added a sound selection, a model viewer, all these different kinds of things. It really honestly is a remake.
Everything's super high res, so it looks beautiful. The music sounds beautiful. You can finally
use
2 analog sticks. Because on GameCube you only had 1 analog stick, and so you had to look and move all with that same stick. Now it's like you can play like a normal FPS game. It is.
I like the gyro aiming.
Fantastic. I haven't tried that one yet. I've just been happy to just have to be able to use 2 analog sticks. It's been so good. Because that's what I hate about the second one. Prime 2 is horrible. And I assume this was the same back in the day, but go check this game out. We're going to talk more about that, I'm sure, later on the show. But that was such a surprise because, I mean, obviously people were hankering for Prime 4 that was announced like 8 years ago at this point. I don't even know. Like
that's going to be a new Switch game. It's going to be whatever the successor. That's going to be probably a launch title for that.
So people were really hoping for Metroid just in any capacity. So to get this, my only gripe is why didn't they just give us the trilogy? There's 3 of them. Like, just give us all 3.
Look how much work went into this one. You had to do that 3 times.
Yeah,
if it was just a re-release of the Wii ports, I could see that. But like, this is like way more than just up-resing the game. So I would rather them do it right, do it well on game A, then go focus on game B, then go focus on game C, than to try to spread it out. Because we got the results of that when people try to do that with the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Remember that?
You're right.
When they tried to remaster all 3 games at the same time.
Yeah.
And it all turned out to be a disaster. Take your time.
Take your time.
You guys killed the first one. When you're ready to bring out the second one, bring it out. Same with the third. I'm fine with waiting. I do not want another incident like that.
Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense. You're right. That's the last thing we want, is just for it to be a worse version.
Right.
Because at the very late, like it shouldn't be hard to make a better game than the GameCube. But you're right. If they tried to like throw it all in one, that could have killed it.
Thin.
So, but yeah, so go check all that stuff out. And so kind of piggybacking off this now, our quote unquote second article isn't really an article. We're just kind of I just want to hear some thoughts from you guys on. There's this idea going around the internet since that direct that this could be the end of the Switch era because, like I said before, the direct focus on games coming out at the beginning of the year, didn't talk about anything in the second half of the year at all. And at this point, there is nothing. Like it's not like we're looking forward to anything. Like really, Zelda was the last thing we were looking forward to, and that comes out in a couple months. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Could we possibly see a new Nintendo console next year?
What you think, JJ?
I'm going to tell you right now, I think so. Now, I think they're going to stick with the Switch name, though. I think that they put so much into Switch that the thing that they've done differently than PlayStation and Xbox with the portability of being able to dock it, they're married to the docking of the console. That is going to happen no matter what they name it, no matter what they do in this next generation, because they've cornered the market on that. No other console is doing that. I know. Well, I think actually wasn't there like was it Steam Deck now is able to dock?
Yeah,
So
it has a dock too.
So I think that they are going to stick with that format, but I think it'd probably be like a Switch Ultra or Switch 2 or something like that. It'll be along the lines of a Switch, and I think that Switch name, I think that's going to be along for the ride.
Okay. I'm with you. I think that would work. The moniker I want them to go with is I want them to bring back their Super naming convention. I want them to call it Super Nintendo Switch so bad.
Or if they called it just Super Switch.
I want the whole thing like Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I want Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
But
that would be sick.
It has to earn that Super moniker. So like it needs to be a good jump above the original Switch. Kind of like how the Super Nintendo was a good jump from the NES. Yeah. So it needs to earn that moniker. You can't just give it to it.
Do you think it's going to be a harder jump though, considering that we've gotten the updated Switch not long ago, the way that they've updated stuff and they went in and did the OLED?
That's basically all they changed though was the screen, and the game still output at the same resolution. The only thing the screen does is it's bigger, crisper, and better colors, but it's still only like 720p. So I think that's where they could totally do a Super Switch, where hopefully they would stick with an OLED, but give us a higher resolution OLED in there, and make the games render not at 720. Give us some 1080p gaming or whatever, and be able to output 4K in a dock or whatever.
That's what I was gonna say. It needs to be able to comfortably run games at 1080-60. I would say this is bare minimum. If I'm building the next Switch, right? Handheld, it's got to have a 1080p display at this point. You can have the same size if you want, but it needs to have a 1080p display. And then you need to be able to comfortably do 1080-60 or 720-120. And then in handheld. And then docked, you need to be able to do 1440-60 or 4K 30.
Yeah. Totally. That would still be like under-spec'd compared to current gen consoles, but for Nintendo games, holy smokes, it would be gorgeous. Like that would be incredible. To get anything like that.
Then I think that you could call it Super Switch if you did that, because 1080-60 on a handheld is crazy.
Oh man. Especially if they stick with an OLED screen. I somehow doubt they would. Like they might revert back and then be able to do an upgrade later, but man, if they could pull that off, that would be incredible.
Is there any point in going larger with the screen, or do you feel like the screen size for the OLED right now is good enough?
I personally like the size of the OLED screen. It's because it's not much bigger than the original, but it feels bigger, and I think a lot of it comes to just the clarity. because of the better picture, it's barely bigger, but it feels a lot bigger than it is. And it's because, again, like you can see what's happening as vibrant, vivid colors. And yeah, it's better than just like the standard screen on the original one. So I'm fine with the size, honestly. I don't think it needs to go bigger, but I've also never held like a Steam Deck in my hand. I don't know, like, is the Steam Deck screen bigger than the Switch?
No.
Okay.
It's not bigger, and I can't remember. I didn't measure it when I held one, so I feel like it's either equal or smaller.
Okay.
But the picture is definitely worse because I think it only has what does it have? I think it's 720p as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But it's LCD. I'm fine with the screen size on it now. If they wanted to make the unit bigger to accommodate like new chipsets or new cooling so that they can hit the 1080p, I'd be fine with that. If it was like
thicker.
Yeah, if it was like maybe, I don't know, like up to a half unit thicker than it is now, because it's pretty thin as it is.
It's very thin, especially compared to the Steam Deck. Steam Deck's beefy.
So if they wanted to do,
people are
like,
fine with that.
Yeah, if they want to do like maybe 25% to 50% thickness in the next one to accommodate for that heat, so they can hit those numbers, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But if you do that, that's going to increase the weight. So they need to like make a 2.0 for Joy-Con. Like, and they need to be way sturdier if they're going to hold that console body up. Or they can offer an all-in-one version to where they don't come off.
Joy.
You mean
kind of
like
a light version, but that's big.
But full size, yeah.
Full, yeah.
So that,
but still docks.
Point to still dock. Like that would be a phenomenal design to not have the Joy-Cons come off.
It's crazy that the light doesn't dock. I don't get that. Who made that decision?
I mean, they just want they want you to go buy more Switches. You know, it's dirty.
You could have made a mini dock for it. That doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. Because you're right, it doesn't fit in the normal dock though, does it? But you're right. There's so many. Who actually uses their original dock anyways? To be honest, like I don't even use I use like third-party docks for my Switch. Like I don't even have I don't even know where my first-party one is. Like I have like a little portable one that I can throw in a backpack. It's like a little dongle, like this big. Mm-hmm. And then I have like another one that's just like a little like a little tray or whatever, like a little rectangle that it just sits on, so you can see the actual Switch or whatever. Yeah, I very much would love to see a new Switch come out. I agree with both of you guys. I don't know. Yeah, I think it would basically just have to be like I don't see it necessarily being a whole new console. I feel like it's going to be like a super Switch, but at the same time, it's just going to be like a glorified Switch. Like it's a Switch Pro that they've been talking about all these years, but just rebranded as like Super Switch or whatever. So it feels like a new console, but it's not. Because I mean, I also don't want to. My biggest worry is like when they come out with new things, a lot of times they're like, sorry, you can't play the old thing. You know, not all the time, but sometimes.
I think the only time they ever did that was what? Because you could play your DS games on 3DS. Up until the DS Lite, you could play your GBS games on DS. I think only from what, NES to Super Nintendo is the time that they closed off.
Yeah, and I mean
backwards compatibility.
I guess for more, because I'm even more of like a recent Nintendo fan. I've had Nintendo stuff in the past, but like going from like Wii and Wii U to Switch, obviously, like one takes
Wii U had Virtual Console.
And one takes cartridge, so like changing stuff like that up, like
that's how they did it on there. Was Wii U have Virtual Console, so you could still download old stuff and play DS games because it had its own second screen.
Okay,
so
it's in their DNA. It's more like just with the Switch this generation, they kind of like cut off all the old stuff, and so that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping maybe they don't continue that trend and that they go back to their old ways where they were more like backwards compatible conscious.
I was going to say it would be odd of them after selling so many units to suddenly change up the formula, but then the Wii U exists, so they are not known for doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah, we'll stay tuned for the rest of the year. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what we get, but I'm just happy with what we have now. Let me tell you, Metroid Prime, whew, so good. All right, this last news story here comes to us from GamesIndustry.biz, written by James Batchelor. EU issues Microsoft with antitrust warning over Activision Blizzard acquisition. Microsoft has been issued with a formal antitrust warning from the European Union concerning its proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Sources told Politico a statement of objections was sent to the Xbox firm on Tuesday, in which the European Commission antitrust enforcers detailed their concerns over the $68.7 billion deal. While the details of the statement are unknown, the Commission has previously said it would need to investigate the deal thoroughly because the merger may significantly reduce competition on the markets for the distribution of console and PC video games, including multi-game subscription services and or cloud game streaming services, and for PC operating systems. The EC was particularly concerned about Microsoft withholding Call of Duty and other Activision Blizzard products from other consoles, and that the deal could also harm competition in the game subscription and cloud gaming spaces. Microsoft responded to the report, telling Politico, it is committed to finding a path forward for this merger. We are listening carefully to the European Commission's concerns and are confident we can address them, the spokesperson told the site. The EC's investigation began in November with a deadline on March 23rd for the final decision. Microsoft has already assured regulators it will continue to release Call of Duty on other consoles, even promising 10 years of the franchise on Switch and Steam, and promising a similar deal with Sony. Although PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan has since told GamesIndustry.biz this offer was inadequate on many levels. Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard also faces a legal complaint from the Federal Trade Commission in the US and an in-depth investigation by the UK's Competition and Market Authority. So, yeah, just a little update. We haven't talked about it in a while, but things are still going down with the whole Activision Blizzard Microsoft acquisition. It's kind of a roller coaster a little bit. I mean, it's
gonna go through. It's gonna go through.
That's what I was just about to ask. How confident are you guys it's going to go through? Because I don't know, with all this stuff coming up more and more, I'm starting to feel like maybe I wonder if it just gets. I wonder if they drop it. Like, I don't know. This just seems like many hoops to jump through. Like at this point, it seems like it's.
If you're Microsoft,
costing them so much. I was just gonna say it's probably costing them so much extra time and money right now. Like, is it even worth it? But.
Here's what I'm thinking, right? If I'm Microsoft, we blew the gun. We jumped the gun, right? We already put out the posters that are like, oh, we're buying Activision. We already, have included some of their titles in our presentations and stuff that's upcoming, right? Like we made the announcement to the public. If we were to go back on this deal, or if it falls through, stockholders and future partners would look at us differently going forward, right? We wouldn't be able to secure more funding from stockholders, and anybody who would want to partner with us potentially is going to go, I don't know, you guys didn't land that Xbox or that Activision deal. How am I going to know that you're treating me okay, right? Mm-hmm. So this is too important for Microsoft to let fail because of that alone, and because, like you said, Garrett, the money that they have already put into it, right? This is a $70 billion deal. So you better believe that they've at least put a couple extra billion into litigation, lawyer fees, flying people out to talk to legislative boards around the world, to fight cases on where they're trying to be blocked in different areas. So Microsoft has too much capital and too many resources to let this fall through. They're going to do what they need to do to get this done. And from what I hear, the regulatory board told them, like, the easiest way for you to get this done is if you promise that you're going to break up Activision before you sell or before you buy it, right? So that way it looks like a bunch of smaller companies or smaller purchases instead of one big $69 billion one. So who knows if they're going to go with that advice, or if they're going to be like, yo, we're Microsoft. We're like one of the 4 biggest companies on earth. We're going to get what we need to get done, Yeah. We'll send the people to all your houses at the regulatory board to make you say yeah if we need to. We got that kind of power, right? So that's most likely. I mean, it may come to that. We'll never know. Of course, that's Black Ops stuff, but that deal's going through.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a case of counting their ducks before they hatch. And I feel like them coming around and like making all these statements before everything was already signed, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, it's a bad move because there's people who, it's a publicly traded company, so there's people who are putting money into this company and then they're investing in the idea that, okay, they're going to take over this company, and they're just making these decisions. And I think that that's not something you would see Sony do.
I mean, yeah, Sony plays their cards so close to or holds their
Correct.
cards so close to their chest. Like, yeah, you don't know
They're not gonna
nothing until
jump out ahead of themselves and say, well, yeah, we're doing this because you'll have egg on your face.
Yeah. With Microsoft, I agree with you. They definitely jumped the gun there, and yeah, I don't know. I think I agree with you as well, Adrian. Like, it's at first I was thinking like, man, they've put so much time and money into it. Like, when do you just let it go? But I think you're right. They're at the point now where it's almost like they've put too much into it and they have too much skin in the game. So it's like, no, this has to happen. Like, it really does. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, what is it? The end of March there? That is when the final decision from at least the European Commission's coming in. So,
well, they're trying to have the whole, from what I was reading on different articles, they're trying to have the whole thing like buttoned up by May.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be ideal for Xbox. So then at E3, when they do their big thing, like, they could be like, hey, we got Activision Blizzard. Here's everything for the next 5 years. That it's
going to be a mouthful though, because now instead of the Xbox Bethesda Direct, it's the Xbox Bethesda Activision Blizzard Direct.
Why don't they just call it the Xbox Developer Direct? Like, they're all under Xbox and Microsoft anyways.
They keep doing that. They keep saying Xbox Bethesda Showcase.
Yeah.
Bethesda is not on the same level as Xbox. It is the parent company.
Yeah.
Call it the Xbox Direct.
Like, PlayStation's not the PlayStation Santa Monica Bend Insomniac
Direct,
Naughty Dog Direct. It's like, no, it's just the PlayStation like state of play. Like, just give it to me. But all right, well, if that's the case, yeah, stay tuned, because we could be reacting to that during E3 season. All the new announcements that games we're probably never going to see, because Xbox is not releasing games anymore, apparently.
No, they don't. They just buy studios and let them sit there.
Except for freaking Hi-Fi Rush. They figured
Fair.
that
They have to put something good to have stockholders go, oh, okay.
Doing something over there.
We won't sell.
All right, that is it for the nerdy nudes. Now it is time for our Patreon ad. This is the part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboy. Support us over there, starting at just $1 a month, where you can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show and Super Gamer Book Club. You will not want to miss out on this month. We're talking about Hi-Fi Rush, I just mentioned moments ago, featuring guest Trouser Schnauzer, or aka DJ Trues. And if you want to get episodes early and ad-free, just $1. That's all we need. But if you're looking to get more out of your Patreon subscription, $5 a month, you can get the show notes early. You know exactly what we talk about on the show ahead of time. You're going to see the news articles. You're going to see the questions of the show, all that. And you're going to be able to leave your own questions, comments, concerns, thoughts right there on the show notes for us to read on the air. So if you currently support us on Patreon, or if you're thinking about it, go ahead and do that. Leave your own thoughts on the news articles or your own answers to the questions. And if you want to have your voice heard on our show, go ahead and support us at $5 level there. $10 a month, you get shout outs on the show. You're a Super Gamer sponsor. So each and every episode, we shout your name right at the top of the show. Thank you for your support to the public. Everyone hears it. $15 a month, you are a Patreon producer, where you get all the previous perks and you can pitch us a segment for the show. If you have an idea, something you think would be fun for us to do, something new, something interesting to try out, go ahead and support us over there, pitch it to us. And I think pretty much every time we've been pitched something, we've given it a shot. We've gave it the old college try. So we're pretty open to most things. So go ahead, support us over there. And we would very much appreciate the support as well, because it helps keep this show tip-top shape, running, good gear, good lights, good games, whatever we need here to keep making cool stuff for you guys. You can also support us over here on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSuperGamerBoys. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link that with your Twitch account and use your Prime Gaming sub for free to support our channel. We get $5, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps, again, support our channel, and you get some cool emotes in return, and a little subscriber badge next to your name whenever you chat in our chat. Last but not least, W.GG. Oh no, JJ's getting in the costume here. Let me at least read the thing. You always cut me off before I'm done. Let me finish, and then you can do your thing.
We want you to read all of the W goodness. Go ahead.
Okay, so go get your W.GG. W.GG, use our code SGB to get 10% off. Using that code gets you the discount. Also gives our show a little kickback, helps us out a lot. You want to make sure to get this. I'm so nervous right now. Go ahead and pick up some of the new W flavors over there. They got a bunch of new ones right now, and get that gluten-free, sugar-free, crash-free. Also contains patented neurofactor, and that's. I'm just waiting. That's the
good stuff.
They got good stuff. Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge. I think some of the new flavors is they have push and punch.
Push and cushion. And if you want to have push and cushion,
that's
and
not
also
even what I
you want to
said.
dump your sludge, you can do that. You want to make sure that your wand never runs out of magic. You want to
especially for Valentine's Day.
You damn right. You want to Expelliarmus that old broad, get her off the couch and get her up in the bedroom. You can do that with W Energy. That stuff is amazing, dude. I'll tell you what. A little secret. I know a lot of you guys don't really know. It's not just an energy drink. It makes your pee-pee hard.
No.
Like really hard, like rock hard.
Definitely
Dude,
does not do that.
It's not just the breeze that's stiff, if you know what I'm talking about.
It's the drink stiff too. It's alcoholic. No, just kidding. It is not. I mean, it could be. That's not a bad idea.
You could mix it, but then it'll make
that defeats the whole purpose.
You'll have to go to the doctor to get it to,
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
But go check it out. W.GG, use code SGB, get 10% off some of the new flavors. I think they have a sampler pack where you get a shaker cup and you get to try out 2 flavors. They get little single serve packets. So go check that out and get some good energy. That no crash, no sugar, gluten-free. So it's good for you, right? Energy that's good for you.
Yep. That's the kind of energy I like.
All right. Let's get back to the show. Alrighty, guys, this is the part of the show where I tell you to... That's the wrong part of the show. I'm all thrown off here. I'm all thrown off here. This is not the part of the show where I tell you to go to Patreon, because we just did that section. This is the part of the show where I ask you, JJ, what's your plan?
I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy, baby. So we ended up getting Hogwarts Legacy a little bit early, like we kind of talked about earlier on today. This game, we've been waiting for it. It was pushed back several times, like most games through the pandemic era. Guys, this game is amazing. They've done such an incredible job. It's an open world game, and the scope and size of it is so much larger than you can possibly imagine. It's wonderful. So first of all, you start off with character creation. So you can create a character, and it's very unique in its character creation. It's a little bit better than anything I've ever done before. They have so much detail. that you can put into your character creation. And then, of course, you name the character and whatever. You start off as a 5th-year student at Hogwarts. I know you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. Hogwarts is the school of witchcraft and wizardry. And there are 4 different classes or orders that you can go into: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or the bad guys, the Slytherins, right? And so basically,
are they always bad guys?
Yeah, pretty much. You get sorted into a different house based on your personality and you answering questions. If you don't like it, though, you can choose another house. But yeah,
I have a quick question real quick about this.
course.
This isn't about the game. It's about Harry Potter. If the bad guys are generally from Slytherin, why don't they just shut down the Slytherin house? Like, that just seems like, hey, if they just keep pumping out bad apples, let's just shut it down, right? Like,
so it's not, they're not all bad guys essentially, but it's like, that's where kind of you have to have a foil, right? You have to have a heel, and they're kind of like, that's where most of the bad people are in that house, or in the Slytherin house. So you'll have like the richy rich people that have their, snot-nosed kids that are in that house or whatever. And then the people with all the guts and gumption will go to like Gryffindor, and loyalty is of course Hufflepuff, I'm just saying. And then Ravenclaw is like, I don't know, conniving or some crap like that. But there's something good quality for each one of them. And so you get sorted into a different house. And then there's, of course, the main story and lots of great side missions that you can run around and do a lot of exploring. And man, the character work is so great in this game. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out on YouTube. But it's a lot of fun. And like, my entire family's been playing it over the last several days, and everybody's gotten into it.
That's awesome. Yeah, to be honest, not knowing anything about Harry Potter and not like being a huge fan of that world at all the gameplay looks pretty fun. Like, I've seen some gameplay clips. I'm like, all right, it looks interesting. Like, it looks like a cool world. And
it really is.
From what I hear, it's like, sounds like a fun game. Like, just from a purely like entertainment point of view, whether not even being a fan of the thing, it's like, oh, it looks like an actual decent product. So I don't know if I'll actually ever pick it up, but it does look surprisingly good. Like, I was like surprised by it. Like, I was like, okay, this could have been trash. Like, it could have been,
absolutely could have been trash. And there was a couple of Harry Potter games on the GameCube, and they weren't bad. They really weren't bad. But this is like a whole nother level. So my hat's off to Portkey Games and the Wizarding World, because they really did a remarkable job with this game. It's everything that a nerdy Harry Potter fan would want in a video game.
That's awesome. Sick. All right, Adrian, what you playing?
So of course I'm still making my way through Hi-Fi Rush, taking it a chapter at a time. Still fantastic in my book. Can't wait to get to the end and talk about it on book club. Outside of this, I think you and I share a game this week. The Shadow Drop, the Metroid Prime Remastered.
Heck yeah.
Incredible work. I forget the name of the team that did the conversion. Do you happen to know?
I can look it up here in 1 second. It was,
I think it's Iron Galaxy.
Of course, it's at the very bottom of the page here. No, it's not even here. What the heck? Nintendo doesn't even credit their own developers.
Yeah, that was a big kerfuffle too.
Yeah, it literally just has a publisher, Nintendo. It doesn't say who developed it.
Whichever team that did do it, you guys did a phenomenal job. I hope they put you back on for 2 and 3, or that was what the deal was, because I would love for you to take care of those as well. And then I played the demo for the upcoming RPG Sea of Stars. And boy, let me tell you, that game is I feel it's gonna be a winner, dude. The combat system is really good. It is absolutely stunning, especially on OLED display. And the music is just top notch. They have a lot of guest composers that came in and worked from like big JRPGs or big franchises over the decades, and they've come and done some guest work for it. So Oh man, this game is shaping up to be just swinging for the fences.
Dang, that's awesome. I found so it looks like Retro Studios was the primary developer.
That can't be, because aren't they supposed to be working on something? They're the original developer.
No, it says the Retro Studio is the primary developer of the remastered game, but there's multiple studios that also worked on the new version of the game in the credits. So, but you don't know who they are until you play the game and watch the credits, basically.
Yeah,
but,
this must have been a B team, because there's no way they were working on this remaster for 10 years, because they haven't come out with anything since Tropical Freeze.
Well, it says currently Retro Studios is at work on a 4th Metroid Prime game.
Right
so,
now, but before then,
yeah.
What were they doing 2013 to 2019?
Who knows? I don't even know. Yeah, it says, and I think I remember that at the beginning of the trailer when they announced it in the direct, it had the retro logo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's like some other side like smaller developer studios that helped with it. But yeah, it's like not listed online anywhere. It's like it just says they're in the credits, like their names, not even the name of the company. It's just like the name of the people who worked on it.
Well, whoever you are, I applaud your work. You did a fantastic job.
Killer job. Yeah, I downloaded that demo though, the Sea of Stars. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I right before the show you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, I got to download it right now. So I started that. I definitely want to check that one out, because I remember seeing some trailers and seeing it in previous directs and it looked killer. So I'm excited to try it out. I somehow missed it. The demo was out now. For myself, I've been playing Metroid Prime Remastered. Go play it. We've talked about that. I think it's only like $30 or $40 too, right?
Yeah, it's only $40.
So it's a great deal for a fantastic game. I played Hi-Fi Rush, which I'll share more thoughts obviously on the book club, but I kind of shared some thoughts. I shared some of the same thoughts as someone in our Discord who was talking about it, where there's a couple points in the game where it just feels kind of slow and tedious, or not slow and tedious, repetitive and tedious maybe.
Did you see that they updated their impressions later on?
No, I did not.
Okay, go back in the Discord and take a look when you get a chance.
Okay, but at least at this point, I'm still at the point in the game where I'm just like, all right, okay, I get it. And I think I said that last week too. Like I was like at the very beginning of the game, I felt that, and then it kind of like changed worlds a couple times. Like, okay, now I feel good, and now I like started falling back into that again. So I'm really hoping I get back out of it again, and I'm like back in the oh yeah, okay, this is great. But yeah, it's definitely been a little bit of a roller coaster. So it'll be interesting once I'm finished and I have time to think about it and kind of let it gestate a little bit in my mind, and then come back on book club and like share with you guys exactly like, okay, this is how I actually feel overall about it. Because right now it's kind of like, boy, this has been a roller coaster. But again, it's in pieces and parts. So it'll be interesting at the end of this month on our book club to be like, all right, here's the full picture of how I feel. So yeah, definitely want to support us on Patreon for that one. The last game I've been playing that I'm sure none of you guys have played. This is the game I have not shared with any of you guys. So I've been playing Warhammer, the board game, but not the board game. So I've been playing Warhammer with my brother on Tabletop Simulator. So I don't know if you've heard about this. There's a game on Steam called Tabletop Simulator, and it's designed, you can play Monopoly, Uno, The Game of Life, like board games or whatever. Like people have like Secret Hitler or whatever like kind of games you want to play, card games, board games, whatever kind of games. But someone made a mod so you can literally play Warhammer. Like you have a whole map and like virtual little minis, and they're all like painted up and everything, and you can move them around the map and everything. And I played
Adrian,
Friday night and Saturday night when
Adrian, how are you feeling about this? Are you concerned?
I'm letting them go. I'm letting them go.
All right. But no, this is technically a video game. I can talk about this.
I didn't say anything. Okay.
Oh, I did.
Continue with Hrothgar.
Anyways, I've been having a blast because I've been having a lot of fun painting the minis, but obviously that's like a lot of work before you can actually play the game with them. So it's like it's just been really nice to jump into that. And I mean, it's always fun to find a game where I can connect with my brother on. So like, yeah, like we spent 2 nights last week where we were able to stay up to like 2 a.m. playing this game. Flipping through rule books. That's the best part of the game. Flipping through the rule book, trying to find, page 260. Here's what I was looking for. But no, seriously, yeah, I had no idea it was even a thing. So if you're interested in Warhammer and you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on real minis, go spend the $20 on Tabletop Simulator and give it a shot. And if you like the game, then jump into the actual hobby. But I was just surprised at how well a job the mod was, or how good the quality was on the mod, because some of them are really janky. Sometimes you get those mods for the Tabletop Simulator and it's like, oh, this is supposed to be Jeopardy, but it doesn't really quite work like Jeopardy should, or whatever it is. Like, it's kind of weird. So it was actually really awesome to like jump in and be like, oh, okay, this is everything you need to play Warhammer other than the rule book, which you can either look it up online, or I have like all the books on my bookshelf here to flip through while you're playing, just like you would though on like an actual tabletop. So fantastic mod. If you're interested in playing with me, if you have Tabletop Simulator, hit me up. I'm down to play. It's been a blast. So I was just very surprised by that high quality mod. So all right, before you guys fall asleep, I should probably
we made it, JJ.
Finish up here.
Oh man! As soon as you started talking about Rothgar, I was like, I'm gonna stab my own freaking eye out right now.
Jeez. All right. Thank you guys all so much for listening, especially Adrian and JJ. I know it's so hard for you guys each and every week to sit here and listen to me just ramble on about nothing, which is ironic because JJ had the bright idea a couple weeks ago, and you can look forward to it. This is a little sneak peek for those of you watching live, and everyone else will hear Wednesday after it comes out. But Tuesday morning, a video is coming out called Good Vibes with Garrett. And the idea is it's going to be a little weekly video where it's basically a vlog, but while I'm hobbying, if that makes sense. I'm just going to sit down and tell a story. It might not even be a current story. It might be an old story, whatever. I'm going to be talking about some topic for 10 minutes while I'm painting, while I'm cleaning up miniatures, putting them together, whatever. Something in the hobby sphere there. So that'll be launching Tuesday morning, and the idea is to have one new one for every Tuesday. So there you go. JJ, you say you're so sick and tired and bored of me talking about things, but you're the one who encouraged it. So this is on you.
What I told you was there's a big market.
You also called me sexy, so.
I never said that. I swear I never said the word sexy. There is a market for people who want to go to sleep to other.
I was just gonna say. I said we should title it Sleep Aid under there, like a dash sleep aid, because you know how there's all those things that's like, oh, you can do an interior of a plane sleep aid for 10 hours, or like a on the bow of a ship for 4 hours sleep aid. We should put sleep aid on there and we'll rake it in, dude.
Hashtag sleep aid, dude. Hashtag sleep aid. Put it on.
All right. I already have hashtag ASMR in there, so I'll add in the sleep aid.
There you go.
Get all the views we can get. But thank you all so much for listening and watching this show. If you love what we do, you want us to keep making more good stuff, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there starting at $1 a month. You can get episodes early and ad-free. Help us make this show good, and keep so we can afford to buy games and play them and talk about them for you guys. We will try them before you buy. We will suffer through Harry Potter Legacy if we have to. Or whatever it's called. I don't even know the name of the game. No one knows.
Hogwarts Legacy.
No one actually cares. You can also support us going over to sgbstore.com, where you can get our sweet merch. We got t-shirts, stickers, mugs, whatever, sweaters. I've been wearing my sweater a lot lately. The gray one with just the classic logo on the front. That's like my favorite. I love it. It's such a dad sweater. I love it. I feel like I just feel like I need like some track pants and my ball cap on, and I'm ready to go. W.GG, use code SGB to get 10% off. Help us out. We get a little bit of kickback from that. Rate and review us where you can over on Spotify and Apple iTunes. Give us the thumbs up on YouTube if you're watching here, and make sure to subscribe. Click that bell so you know when new videos go live, like the one tomorrow morning. Shout out to Jack, Sriracha, and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Remember, you can find them on Apple Music and Spotify. Links are in the show description below, so go click on those. Show them some support and love. Find us during the week at supergamerboys.com. supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys.com. I am on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You good people can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, where can they find you?
You guys can always find me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ Purdom, and of course at Suplex City Pod. You can go over to YouTube, youtube.com/at Suplex City Pod, as I talk about pro wrestling each and every week, all the crazy happenings in the pro wrestling world. It's covered by me, and it's where I am the host and the captain of the ship. I don't let anybody, steer me in a different direction. I'm running it, and it's done my way, and it's dirty as hell. Like, it's so foul and disgusting. You guys are going to love it. Like, tune in. I'm just kidding. I'm super PG, super PG.
Yeah, it's a boring show, lame show. No one watches it.
Whoa, the greatest show of all time. You mean, come on.
Yeah, make sure to go check him out over there for all your wrestling needs. Wrestling news needs. You guys aren't doing real wrestling yet, right? Pretty soon.
What is real wrestling? Is WrestleMania when 100,000 people.
No. I mean, when are you guys starting your own company?
Oh, starting no.
Like Suplex City, you're like wrestling, and you have your own show.
Get a lineup of guys.
Yeah. Can I be in there? Can I fight?
I would totally wrestle for it.
Can we do a Super Gamer Boys WrestleMania, our own wrestling, just me, stream it live on the internet where me and Adrian just fight.
I feel like I could totally do the main event with Garrett versus Adrian, Homeboy Holmes, and me doing the play-by-play commentary for the thing. Adrian, you're going to need to wear a purple singlet that's about 2 sizes too small.
Done.
And then Garrett, yours has got to be like you're swimming in it. You know what I mean? It's gonna just to add that sense of holy crap.
Pick him up by it and just kind of give him one of these.
And then can Zetch come out as an Undertaker type character?
No, he comes back from the dead. He needs to be the Vince McMahon, the suit.
I was thinking he just comes back from
this match to happen.
I was
talking about Zetch coming back from the dead. He's just comes up out of a coffin. He's just boom.
Vince could be, or Zetch could be the referee.
Yeah,
which might be because both of you guys have offended him in many different ways separately. So it's is he going to be a dirty one-sided referee? Which way is he going to go?
Oh man.
We got something. We got something cooking here, boys. Let's not let this go.
We all have our super SummerSlam. All right.
Your wrestler name could be the Warhammer, Garrett.
Can I be the Warhammer? I mean, I am not opposed to that at all. You think you're being...
He would put war paint on himself like the Warhammer thing. That could be one of the videos you talk about while you're painting yourself in the Warhammer. Doing the thing. No, you can't do it like an Indian voice, by the way. That's not right.
It's
a Native American thing. You can't do I just want you to know that.
Yeah, no, wasn't planning on it. All right.
I'm just
all right, that's all I got for the show, JJ. You can take us away here.
For Adrian Homeboy Holmes, for Garrett, 2 sizes, too small Morlang, and myself, JJ Purdom, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop. The Warhammer.
You're welcome.